Hello and welcome to this O&DR Modurol video, rear seat removal. This is video 188 in our series of XK8 videos. In this video we're going to give you a step-by-step guide into removing your rear seats. We're replacing the headliner on our 1996 Jaguar XK8 and we need to remove the rear seats and able to do that properly. We need to remove the rear seats, as I say, in order firstly to allow the rear side quarter trims to clear the headliner. In this particular case I'm going to take the rear quarters out or make them very loose so we can clear the headliner. In order to do that, part of the rear quarters held into the car by the actual rear seats, so we're going to get that out for that purpose. I think I actually damaged the old headliner. It's not the first time I've changed the headliner. I didn't remove the rear seats and I didn't fully release the rear quarter trim, and without actually doing a complete removal of the rear quarter trim, you do try and have to force the headliner back, and I think I damaged it, so I'm going to try and do it this proper way. Plus we're actually removing the rear parcel shelf to recover it. Much like the headliner, the rear parcel shelf backing foam has disintegrated and the cloth has come completely loose. So in order to remove the rear parcel shelf, you need to remove the rear quarter trims, and you need to do that, you need to remove the rear seats step by step. If you're interested in the headliner and the parcel shelf videos, take a look at the playlist at the end of the video. We'll cover them separately. If you're interested, if you've got a convertible, the process for rear seat removal is very similar to as we're showing here for the coupe, albeit the seats are smaller, the method is the same. The tools you're going to need are a 10mm spanner and a cross screwdriver. It's as simple as that. The removal of the seat is very, very simple and quick to do, so I'll try and run through it as quick as I can. This video, as per normal, we're going to split it up into several chapters. First we're going to talk about part numbers and trim types very briefly. Then we'll talk about the seat base and its locations, then its removal. Then the seat back, its locations and the removal. As if you're used to our videos, we like to talk about the removals, the locations, because if you understand how the items are located on your car, you're less likely to damage things when you come to remove it, and it gives you a better understanding of what you're doing. Part numbers and trim then. The seat back, in our case, part number is GJA5524BC, and the seat base is GJ5300BC. As I say, it will be different depending on your car trim and age. The actual XX is the trim color code. There are 13 combinations throughout the X100 life, going from coffee right down to heritage tan contrast. So please check out which trim level you've got and which colour you've got when ordering any replacements. There are several designs of seats which obviously affects the rear seat. There is Classic, Sport and Recaro. There are a couple of slight different designs of Classic depending on the model year, as with Sport, but there's only one design of Recaro. The differences are very subtle. Classic, you can tell it has a vertical stitching in the centre of the seat. Sport has horizontal. Recaro also has horizontal, but it has a slightly more enlarged headrest, both in the rear seat and the front. Seat base, locations and the cushion. The rear seat base basically has 3 fixing points, 2 at the front and 1 at the rear. The 2 at the front you can actually find if you just follow the outer seams to the edge of the seat, and it's hidden underneath. Taking a look from underneath, you can see 2 location studs. I'll just zoom in. There you go. There's a closer look. It's an M6x16 long stud at each side. These studs locate through some tabs on the body, just in the footwell of the rear seats, poking out the carpet there. The third location is in the centre of the back of the base. It's actually where the rear seat belt mechanisms locate through. These two items you see in the centre, the sort of seat belt latches poke through the seat belt base, and it's actually held there, it's gripped and secured with pop studs in the fabric there. The rear edge of the seat itself is held down by the back seat. As you can see here, the seat base actually goes underneath the seat back, and the seat back holds the seat base in place. It's all part of how it's put together. The seat base removal then, it's extremely simple. You need to remove 2 retaining nuts, 1 per side, from those studs. This is the nut and washer as fitted and secured. So use your 10mm spanner, remove those 2 nuts both sides. Once you got it off, you'll notice the nut and washer are an assembly, they're not separate. It's actually called a flanger nut, part number JZH 10008. The seat cushion then would be loose at the front, but it's held down at the rear. It's fixed, as I say, around those seatbelt anchors. You need to open the pop studs up, just pull them apart, and you should be able to push the seatbelt anchors back through the trim fabric. Once inside, the seat base should be able to be pulled up through and made free. The seat base can then be removed easily from the car. It's quite light and easy to handle. Now you're able to remove the back seat itself. You can see the locations there. So back seat locations in full. The back seat actually has 4 location points, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. You can see here better from the rear of the seat here. 2 at the bottom there are actually metal location slots, and there's 2 at the top which are actually hooking points. So the lower front edge has these tabs with slots in. They actually match the location points in the rear bulkhead. There's little spring clip or U-nut clips used for securing screws there. The top of the back seat has 2 location slots, as we said. Here's a closer look at the slots. Now these actually engaged again on a pair of hooks on the rear bulkhead. This is a closer look of those hooks. You can see it's a very simple mechanism. The back seat removal itself then, you can see the 2 lower back screws there. Here's a close-up of it fixed. You can see the slot adjustment on that bottom location, which is interesting because you can adjust the height of the seat back within about 15mm. So I was playing around with that once I fitted my new parcel shelf, or recovered parcel shelf, and I actually adjusted the height of the seat back to be higher than the parcel shelf. I thought it looked a little bit better with that. Here's another look at it. So it's about 10-15mm higher than the actual parcel shelf. It's a very, very subtle look, but you do have that little bit of adjustment on the seat back when you do come to refit it. Obviously on with the removal, so you need to remove those screws with your screwdriver, and then simply push the seat back upwards from the base there, and it will release itself from the hooks on the bulkhead. And now you can actually remove it from the car. It's very, very light and easy to handle, so it shouldn't be any issue. The refitting of the seat is at the reverse procedure of removal. It's very, very simple and easy to do, as I've shown you with the removal. This video is going to be part of our headliner video playlist, where we're changing our headliner on our coupe. If you're interested in that, please take a look. Lots of different videos make up the headliner removal and refitting procedure. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found that useful if you need to remove your rear seats. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos.